Monarda Fistulosa, also known as wild bergamot, also known as bee balm, is one of my absolute favorite native perennial plants to grow from seed in my Zone 6 bee food forest so far. Over the past 2 years of getting to know this plant, I've fallen in absolute love with it. So let me share with you my growing notes on this gorgeous plant. While this plant does not need cold stratification in order to grow, I've heard that that does improve germination. I grew these from seed in the spring, and it actually took 2 years for it to blossom from me since starting it in spring, but I had great success with growing it and planting it in spring. My Monarda Fistulosa has grown to about 3 to 5 feet tall for me in a part shaded area. But it has gotten powdery mildew both years. The first year where it did not bloom, and this year when it did bloom. However, the powdery mildew has not seemed to have affected the blooms on this beauty. It does mean that I can't harvest the leaves for tea, and that is a big bummer. But I have heard that if you want to reduce the risk of powdery mildew in wild bergamot, to grow it in a sunnier location. So I will be trying that when I direct sow the seed I've collected from this, and also when I divide it in the future. I've also heard of people doing a Chelsea chop or cutting Monarda Fistulosa back after the first set of blooms for a second set, but for my patch, I have done neither. I've let it do its thing, and that said, I also wonder if doing a chop of the blooms will help reinvigorate the plant and potentially help it come back from powdery mildew. So I'll also try that in future years. While harvesting this plant for tea is off the table for me because of the powdery mildew, I do still get several benefits from it, and that all plays into why I absolutely love this plant. First, it's absolutely covered in bees when it's in bloom. I mean, covered. All you can hear is buzzing when you walk by it, and it's an absolute joy to hear and see. Second, I have it planted near a peach tree, which has previously taken a lot of damage from deer and rabbits. But since I've gotten this highly scented plant to take a hold next to the peach tree, that peach tree has escaped damage all year, which is incredible. It's such a relief because I was really worried that this peach tree wasn't going to make it after all the damage it had taken. Additionally, per Oregon State's Extension Office's website, the end of season plant materials can still be composted without worry of the powdery mildew fungus spreading after composting in the future. And that said, I also would compost it anyways because I personally know that I will never remove powdery mildew from my yard. It's just here and I've got to make peace with it. So it's great biomass for mulching, for composting. So that is also a benefit. Finally, wild bergamot is easy to collect seed from. This is one of the reasons I don't cut back the spent blooms because I want to make sure I get the seed to either plant myself or to share. All you do is wait for the heads to dry out and turn dark brown, and then cut the heads into a plastic bag. And I personally leave the plastic bag open and outside overnight to let the bugs escape. And then I'll bring those dried heads inside and brush the seed heads to release the seed into a bag or envelope. Afterwards, I throw the mostly empty seed heads back outside just in case there are seeds left over inside them so that they've got a chance to grow or build my seed bank. So far, I've only grown this beauty in part shade, but as I need and get more seed, again, I'm definitely going to try to add it to sunnier locations. I'd love to hear if you grow this plant in sunnier locations, if that has helped with powdery mildew. Again, let me know if you've grown Monarda Fistulosa in your garden and what your experience has been in the comment section down below. And hit the subscribe button for more notes and tours on what's growing in my Zone 6B garden.